all you good-looking people out there, and welcome to a midweek Monday of the high school football regular season. That's right, we are at the midway point already, 5 weeks down into the books already, and then 5 weeks still more to go, and we've got 5 dum-dums around here about to have semi-intelligent conversation about who we think has been the most important, the most valuable so far in the area right here in North Central Ohio. My name is Brian Skoronsky, and you are watching live right now, coming to you from our studio in downtown Mansfield, Ohio, and since we are live, anything can happen, including you guys dropping us a message right now on the Facebook or the YouTube and let us know if we're stupid, if we're smart, send us some questions, whatever you got for us. We want to hear about it. And since we are also live and anything can happen, how about a thumb wrestling match right now between Garrett and Storm? Here we go. 3, 2, 1 showdown. Who's got the fastest thumbs and down? It looks like it might be Storm. He's off to the early lead. She looks like he's maybe not fighting that hard. Oh, who knows? But that is Storm Blunchley over there to your left, still rocking the swag with the long hair, the salad growing in the back, and then over to the right, G-Man, and what I'm told was a $100 hoodie, so he's got the dripping big time swag over there. Also, the guy simply known as Big League, Travis Berardi, joining the show as well with us, and not a victory Monday for you, Trav. So do you have the Pittsburgh Shaker bottle today, or did you leave that at home?
No, I had an energy drink that I drank today because I was just completely worn out after that loss to the Raiders. But oh well, yeah. It happens. You can't win them all in the NFL. Yeah,
but you can win on Sundays. A few of the Browns this last week, so big smile on my face. And then another Steeler fan right to my right joining me. He brought in a terrible towel today that we're going to use to clean up the bathrooms. How about Hayden Gray? Appreciate you, man. Good stuff. Yeah. All right, guys. As mentioned, we're at the midway point right now of the high school football regular season. We've had quite a few standouts that have really stood up, kind of like the hip-hop song, The Real Slim Shady. We've seen some studs stand up and show us that they are exactly the player that they thought they were going to be. But who has been the most valuable so far to their team? We are about to debate. I'm going to send it over here to G-Man and Storm, and I'm going to let them kick off this conversation. Guys, who is the MVP right now at the midway point in the season?
Well, I'll just get it out of the way. We all knew who I was going to pick.
Come on.
Marshall Shepard. He's thrown for 2,000 yards already this season, and we're only halfway through it. 25 touchdowns to 1 interception. Whew. And let me remind everyone, once again, we're only halfway through the season. Now, of course, I've been talking a lot about Marshall Shepard, but I also want to shout out the skill guys helping him out. Blaine Bowman has 12 touchdowns on the season, had 303 yards on Friday night versus Pleasant, and that's a school record, so big shout out to Blaine Bowman. But also Andre Hill and Isaiah Ramsey for locking it down. When you have speed like that, it makes it easy, for Marshall Shepard. Not saying that these numbers don't mean anything, but when you got guys like that on the outside, it helps you. But Marshall Shepard's definitely my pick.
Yeah, and it's hard to argue against that, Storm. I was going to pick Marshall Shepard, but I knew you were going to, so I'm going to go with Connor Morris of Crest, who really has been flying under the radar this season. Morris, through 5 weeks, has 760 rushing yards and 14 tutties. 17 of Cressy's rushing touchdowns, 14 of them have come from Connor Morris, so he is doing his thing for the Cougars' rushing attack, and I think we're all set up for the St. Paul Crestview for the Firelands Conference here in a few weeks. It's going to be a collision course, and I think those Cougars are ready. This might be their year, Brian. I'm not sure, but they're looking pretty tough, man.
Hey, my man Connor play a little bit of defense, too. Maybe the best shutdown corner that they have on the team. So he is a two-way, versatile player. And for me, Storm, I'm with you. The best offensive MVP candidate that we have is Marshall Shepard. That's been the most dynamic playmaker in the entire area, but he only plays on one side of the ball. That's why I could not put him in the mix. We'll get to my MVP at the midway point here in just a second, but we'll let Hayden tell you what the real answer is. Who is it, Hayden?
Yeah, definitely Marshall Shepard, solid pick. I'm going to go with someone else that has a lot of coverage here at the OH.Report, Hanif Donaldson. Our boy G's always over covering his games. He has 129 carries for 829 yards, 9 touchdowns, 6.42 yards per carry. But that doesn't even describe this guy. I mean, they list him as a wide receiver and cornerback, but it's been clear he's a quarterback, running back, just overall athlete. He's a monster. Some of the highlights that we have him on, you just can't bring the guy down. I think that he describes most valuable player because if you take him away from the team, Garrett's kind of said it before, when teams play Gallion, if you can slow Hanif down, you might be able to beat Gallion. I think he is the largest reason why they're 3-2, so he's my most valuable player.
Excellent pick, and that kid, I mean, he's been up for the Phenom pretty much every single week, so it's hard to argue against that. Travis, though, what is your argument for another guy?
Well, I was going to go with the Crestview kid, but to the chagrin of G-Man and Storm, they still hate me up there for not picking them against East Knox. So I'm going to go with somebody in the K-Mac, Dane Nauman from Highland, coming out of nowhere. The sophomore, 108 carries, 988 yards, 8 touchdowns. They're 3-2, but in their 2 games in the K-Mac, he's gone for over 500 yards as they took out Mount Gilead, and then they knocked off Centerburg, the defending K-Mac champs. Now they're one of those teams that compete with maybe East Knox and Northmore. They got those the last 2 games of the year. This is their last year in the MOAC. So those MOAC teams, they're going to have to put up with him in the next 2 years, already almost at 1,000 yards. And without him, I think Highland maybe has 1 win. So most valuable player, definitely.
And I love, he's the youngest player on our list, the only sophomore to make the MVP candidacy list for us. But for me, it's another two-way guy that's getting it done on offense and defense. How about Andrew Finello of the undefeated Lucas Cubs? Nobody's getting in this guy's way right now. He's the leading receiver on the team out of the backfield. He's the second leading rusher. He's also the second leading tackler. And as mentioned, he does it on both sides. That's what I love about him. How about the hand skills in the backfield? When you're playing running back for Lucas, you have to be a little bit more than just your standard everyday runner. He's also coming up making big plays like they had in this win over Lakewood, a Division II school, coming over to Bob Wine Field. And because of Finello and company, the Cubs went on to 5-0 on the season because he has been dynamite. And a lot of injuries for this Lucas team. They're a small school. They've been able to overcome the struggles of being banged up because 25's been able to disrupt teams in the backfield, and when he's had his opportunities running the football, he has been absolutely spectacular. At the midway point in the season, Cubs, one of the only undefeated teams in the entire state, certainly here in our area. That's why I've got him as a big reason why he's my MVP candidate at the midway point in the season. He's also going to be up as a Friday Night Phenom this week, along with 7 other players. We got a lot of people being nominated this week. Let's go ahead and run the clips, and we will show you guys who is up for week number 5. So here we go, Friday Night Phenoms presented by MTD Products. And let's kick it off with the guy that I was just talking about. The engine that could for the Lucas Cubs. He does it on both sides of the football. He carried it 16 times for a $103, got into the end zone against Lakewood in a big win. And then defensively, how about 12 tackles? He also had a sack, and we talked about this. This is what he can do in the backfield as well, just constantly making plays. Phenomenal performance, and you've seen him in person too, Travis. This kid, he really is, he personifies Lucas football. He's hard, tough-nosed, and gets it done offensively, defensively, wherever they need him.
And on both sides, he is the epitome of RPO. He runs people over on both sides of the ball, and he is one of the main reasons why the Lucas Cubs are #1 in their region and state ranked once again. It doesn't matter who goes out there because these Lucas Cubs, they just keep stepping up year after year, and Finello is one of the main reasons why.
They stepped up the competition. D7 taking on a D2 at number 25, one of the major factors in that win. He got hobbled at the end of the game. We're hoping that he's good moving forward. This kid, flat out dynamite. For Crestview so far this season. He's been nearly perfect and was almost flawless in a big win against Monroeville. How about Hayden Kuhn? First-time starter. Woo! Throw it in the whirly bird to get a couple of extra yards there, reaching for more yardage, getting big first downs, and then thrown to the end zone to his favorite target, Gabe Smedley. This Crestview quarterback was flat out awesome, G-Man, and you've got to see him grow up a little bit. You know, Hayden, coming from a quarterback family, he got his time, and he's shining right now.
Yeah, and I think it's time to start putting him in the upper echelon of quarterbacks in the area. He might be up there with Marshall Shepard. He might not put up the stats he does, but, man, he is a heck of a game manager. He does not turn the ball over, and that is exactly what Steve Haverdale wants as in his coaching staff. Hayden Kuhn makes the big plays, 3 touchdowns here from the performance against Monroeville. And the Cougars are rolling, man. They're high-flying offense, and the running game is really being able to set up the pass, as you see here from this beautiful ball right to Gabe Smedley. That's going to be our top play from that game, too. So Crestview and Hayden Kuhn, man, they're getting it done, and they're rolling for that collision course with St. Paul in the coming weeks.
How about another signal caller in the senior Peyton Lester down there in Howard of the East Knox Bulldogs? They're starting to get the ship riding in the positive direction. 4 wins in 5 games so far, and this guy is a big leader on the team. He had a huge game against Connaughton Valley. Travis, you were there. You've seen it in person. This dude's awesome, especially when he's on and he's got everything working for him like he does right here. And, of course, it helps when your running back can break a few tackles and get down the sideline, ghost in for a touchdown. But Lester really commands the offense. He's solid, man.
Yeah, when you have DeLauder and Steinmetz as running backs, you don't have to throw the ball as much, but still, Peyton Lester, like you said, lit up Connaughton Valley for multiple touchdowns, finds the open man, had a couple swing passes to those running backs as well, but he can find the open guy, and he can also thread the needle when he needs to, and that's one of the main reasons why they're 4-1 and 5th in the region. But Hayden, you were at the game as well. Just what impressed you about him?
Yeah, his ability to find the ball carrier, or find the wide receivers. They were able to make plays. Just a good performance from him.
So we talked about one running back from the Cubs who had a big performance in Andrew Finello. How about another one that tasted pay dirt not once, not twice, but 3 times against D2 Lakewood? That's Grant Barrett getting in the end zone. He plays a little defense himself. He is the leading tackler on the team, so I love what this guy brings to the table. He's shifty, he's fast, and he's hard to bring down, Travis. That's why he's up for Phenom this week and definitely has a head for the end zone. When they get down near the goal line, 35 is the guy that they give the rock to.
And that's another reason why Lucas has been so successful. They have multiple running backs that can just get you yardage, that can fight for those extra yards and get into the end zone. So when Finella needs a break, hey, they're not going to break from anything because Grant Barrett can come in and pick the slack up immediately. And then, hey, they play defensively as well, and they can just shut you down. Multiple stud linebackers / running backs for the Lucas Cubs. Like I said, undefeated, #1 in the region.
And that's why they get firework parties all to themselves out there at Bob Wine Field. And Eli Grandstaff doesn't get a ton of love typically in the backfield. He's a fullback that's been leading the way for guys like Nauman, who leads the area in rushing yards. But when number Deuce gets handed the football, sometimes he can come through right there. That was a big tackle for him. And as mentioned, on offense, when he got his carries this last week, Storm, he took advantage of them to be an overlooked guy. And then they're like, hey, we need you to step up. And then you do come up to the occasion. It's pretty special, cool to see.
Yeah, the fullback position in football is very comparable to the center position in basketball. Just something that's going away, something we don't really see that often anymore. But I mean, when you got a guy like this, 12 carries, his career high actually for carries, 58 yards and 1 TD. That's exactly what you want out of your fullback. Not someone who does it all necessarily, but can also lay down some key blocks, things like that. So great performance out there at Highland.
Speaking of doing it all, how about Brady Wink? A little bit of rushing, a little bit of passing, and a whole lot of winning. Marion Harding, the President's off to a nice start, one of their best here in recent memory because Brady Wink has been special. Look at that dime that he threw, and give some love to the wideout, of course, for coming down with that football. But at least he has the confidence to put it up. He certainly has the wheels to break outside the pocket and make things happen. You've seen it go down with your own eyes, G-Man. This guy, he was a big reason why the Presidents got a win over Galleon.
Yeah, he's been overshadowed a lot in the MOAC from Marshall Shepard, but Brady Wink, man, he's a really good QB, and he's got a lot of athletes on the outside. I talked to him after the game, and he really mentioned that. He's got Wesley Stokes, man. That guy's 6'3", 6'4", and he throws it up to him. Well, not a very efficient night, only 4 completions, but that was 22 yards a clip on those passes. And when he gets to those receivers, man, they make plays, and he's a heck of a quarterback.
Here he is completing one more ball down the far sideline there. Big win for the Presidents, knocking off Galleon. And how about school records dropping off of the wall because of Blaine Bowman? This dude, you want to talk about being overshadowed. Marshall Shepard getting a lot of the press clippings right now, but Blaine Bowman, he's got 12 touchdowns on the year already. That is ridiculous. That is a career for a lot of people. He's been doing that in 5 games, had 4 touchdowns in this one game alone, including that school record for yardage over 300. It has to just make your eyes like wide open when you're watching this guy in person. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, a big thing too is the yak, the yards after catch. Blaine Bowman is so fast that he can outrun, I believe, any dude in the state of Ohio right now probably. It's just crazy. Not only can he go up and get it, but he can also create yards with his legs, like you saw in that first clip, a couple of spin moves, and he'll lay out for any ball he needs to, and 4 touchdowns and 303 yards, breaking a school record. That means you're doing something right.
97-yarder right here that I think we're probably going to be seeing on top plays coming up in just a minute. Blaine Bowman, you are not human, man. This kid, absolutely unbelievable in week 5. And so was his quarterback, man. Over 2,000 yards already on the season. And not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, 7 total touchdowns. This looks like the Miami Heat press conference with LeBron James saying that they were going to win all those titles, and right now throwing a bunch of touchdowns, getting into the end zone basically at will as Marshall Shepard Storm, you've been pleading for this guy for 4 weeks. What do you got to do? Let him know. Get a vote.
I don't know. I might have to like cry or something on stream to get Marshall Shepard some votes. Maybe get the pity factor going. But the numbers speak for themselves. 6 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. The dude does it all. It's like when he's out there, he can literally just get away with whatever. It doesn't matter what he does. It's always going to end up in a positive play. I mean, 400 yards. Or 465 yards, and 2,000 already, halfway through the season. Are you joking? Those are like typo numbers. Those are numbers you see with a typo, but this guy's doing them for real.
So make sure that you make your votes count this week. Drop us a line on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, and let us know who you thought was the Friday Night Phenom from Week 5 of the high school football season.
Come on, Shelby. Come on, Shelby.
Let's
fans.
go. Let's go, Whipping Nation, Hungry Hounds. Where you at? Where you at? You got 2 guys on the list this week. Make sure that they get up to the top. All right, how about the top plays, though, of the week? And I believe we got some bonus in here. Typically, we only give you 5, but how about a 6-pack coming up for your eyeballs right now? Let's dive right into them. At nominee number 1, let's take you over to Ashland Community Stadium, where the Crestview Cougars got off to a 5-0 start to the season thanks to this dime dropping out of the sky. Gabe Smedley, just too much heat under those feet. So fast, getting into the end zone, 59-yard grab and go. G-man, that's just speed and agility.
Heck of a pass right there from Hayden Coons, who dropping it out of a bucket right into Gabe Smedley's hand, and he outraces the defenders to the end zone. Gabe Smedley and Hayden Coon, man, you got to watch out for this offense. The rushing attack and obviously the passing attack is getting going.
At nominee number 2, we're going to go down to Howard. How about just a little swing pass? No big deal, right? Nope! Carson Steinman's going to make it a big deal, going all the way into the end zone, dragging defenders, and he gets in there for 6.
It's always good when your wide receivers help you out. Watch the 2 blocks right there, but wait, there's more. Another block downfield from the wide receiver, and then the extra effort at the end. He will not be denied the goal line. Steinman's in for 6, and the touchdown as East Knox rolls.
Total team effort right there, and I love the 2 block setup that gets him into the tutty. How about at nominee number 3, Marion Harding and Wink to Wesley Stokes, one of the best combinations that we have in all of North Central Ohio. 66-yard touchdown. Almost lost his pants on the play, G.
Yeah, I think the defender might have, broke his belt. He's pulling up his pants as he's running into the end zone, and of course, stiff arms the defender, but the play is made right here with the Moss going over top of the defender. Nothing he can do, man. Pulling the pants up, of course, getting into the end zone for 6. Big play and big connection from Brady Wink and Wesley Stokes on Friday night.
Oh, man, lean back. Just pull up them pants, do your dance, get into the end zone. 66 yards for the Presidents right there. Good stuff when you got to run and worry about your drawers all at once. How about at nominee number 4? And we're going to go out to Centerburg, where it's going to be a Highland wide receiver. They don't throw up much, but when they do, how about Jay Melky Ori? 31 yards up over the back of the defender. Pretty stuff right here, Hayden.
Yeah, I mean, first off, look at this ball. It gets thrown, and that's an absolute bullet. Put it right where it needed to be, and he got a good 1-2 feet of elevation there. Nice to pull it in over number 4. A little Moss action, must we say. So, great reel in there.
At nominee number 5, Blaine Bowman. He likes to yak when he gets on the run, and wow, ain't nobody going to catch him because man, he just gets into the end zone for fun. He's been there a bunch of times, but none longer than this one. 97 yards to the zone.
Yeah, that 99 speed cheese, I mean, it's hard to beat that. Dude can outrun everyone on the field, like I said, just using his legs. No one's going to catch him. Got the turbo boosters connected to the cleats. What a touchdown and what a run there from Blaine Bowman.
You mentioned the cheese. It is National Queso Day, dripping a little bit on top right there. Bowman all the way to the zone for 6. And speaking of 6, how about nominee number 6, bonus action coming at you from over at Bob Wine Field. And this was the biggest play of the game against Lakewood. You see the bad snap. It gets busted up, and Noah Langston scoop and score. 35-yard tutty house call. And the Cubs beat you in such a variety of different ways. Offense, defense, special teams. That was a special one that extended their lead to a couple of scores. Big reason why the Cubs are off to a 5-0 start. But again, folks, I plead with you, make sure that you drop us a line, get your vote in, make it count, because you, the people of North Central Ohio, decide. And then on Friday nights, live right here at the OH.Report studio, we do the Friday Night Pigskin, and that's when we unveil the winners each week. We tally up all the votes, so you get from now until Friday night at 7 p.m. for the kickoff to get them in. So make your vote count this week.
Brian, we got an update, actually.
Oh, what do we know?
Marshall Shepard has a 2-1 lead over Peyton Lester early on in the voting. So right now, Shepard, Storm, your boys got a 1-vote lead.
I thought of something. I don't know. You know,
are you gonna call it?
Thought of something. I'm not gonna call it, but Whippets fans, I'll even give you Blaine too. If Blaine or Marshall wins this week, Phenom, I'll buzz my hair off. I'll take the mullet off.
He's been contemplating this for a while.
I'll go down to a 2. I'll do a 2 live on stream. I'll do it. But you got to make them win. So some extra incentive.
This is a 3. Now, folks, I just had my hair cut today. This is a 3 on top right here. He's going for a 2.
So you get Barbershop Brian right here live and free on the OH.Report on Friday night.
Live on the Friday Night Pigskin.
If we get Shepard or Bowman into that number 1 spot, how about a number 1 or a number 2 for Storm coming across the top? Dig it, man.
I'm grasping the straws now.
Yeah, don't make them cry on air. Let's just get in the votes and get that buzz cut going. All right, guys, let's talk about some area soccer. And I think that we all concede that there are 2 front runners that we have for both the boys and the girls. Ontario girls, the best of what we've seen here in the area. They're state ranked in Division II. They're undefeated. No qualms there. Also, Lexington boys, pretty darn good. They played the best competition. They got the best quality wins. So we're throwing them out. We get it. You guys are the best. Bravo. You did your thing. But of all the other teams that we cover out of the 5 conferences right here in our own backyard, we'll begin with G-Man and Storm. Tell us, who's the best of the rest? Who's your top boy team and your top girl team?
My top boy team personally is Ashland. Their record is 3-4-2, which isn't the best, but they've played 4 state-ranked opponents, so got to cut them a little bit of slack there, and they're still second in the OCC at 3-1, so they're not at the top, but they're in a good position, and they got a lot of good talent. But the big thing, I think, really has been that difficulty of schedule, and I think, as conference play continues to roll on, it'll be shown, how good they are. And like you said, Ontario, the premier girls team to watch. But how about Madison?
Agreed.
Lost a lot of talent last year, but still in a lot of games, still very competitive. They're 5-0 in total. Like I was talking about, though, they lost a lot of good talent last year, but Nevaeh Lewis has stepped up. She has 8 goals this season, and Madison actually is currently in the lead of the OCC, undefeated at 4-0. The question, I think, is not if they can win the conference, is how good they're going to be when they go on in the playoffs and the postseason. But I don't know. I got to give it to Madison. They've really proved a lot of people wrong, I think.
And you talked about the Ashland schedule. How about the Madison schedule? They've lost their losses so far. Kettering, Alter, Granville, Rocky River, and Sylvania Northview. 3 of those teams are in the top 5 in the state. So Zach Huff, he don't run from nobody, and neither do these Lady Rams. They don't have quite the top-tier talent that we did a season ago. All the girls that are at the next level now, competing in athletics, including Taylor Huff, who might be the SEC Freshman of the Year. So, yeah, they lost a lot, and they're still really good. I'm with you on the Lady Rams. What do you got for me, G?
Well, Brian, Storm picked Ashland. I'm going to go a little bit farther down the road, about a 15-minute drive over to Worcester. They're 7-2. They've only allowed 7 goals, and I think you mentioned they're top 10 in D1 in the state so far. So Worcester is going to be my pick. And they got a big matchup coming up. I believe that's tomorrow. Storm's going to be at that game. Lexington is hosting Worcester. Big-time matchup. You mentioned both of these schools, man. They play tough competition. Worcester, obviously, D1, so it's going to be another shootout, and I'm excited to see. But both teams are very defensive. Lexington only allowing not that many goals this year, and Worcester only with 7. So I guess we're going to see which goalie stands up and sticks out. And then on the girls' side for me, I'm going to go with Mansfield Christian, still unbeaten. Abby Little leading the team in goals with 10. And then next up for them is going to be Central Christian on Thursday. So Mansfield Christian and Worcester for me, that's my 2 top teams other than Ontario and Lexington.
And Hayden, I know that you agree. Mansfield Christian, the top girls team in the area outside of Ontario. Tell us why.
Yeah, I think that they are loaded. Their core 3 girls are all juniors, so they're going to be bringing a lot of talent, even looking ahead to next year. Got to watch them Saturday. They don't have any losses. They have a tie, and they just play with energy and effort from start to finish. Saturday was a great example. They played a tough Crestview team, and they were able to take advantage of just what Crestview was offering them. We saw that they were playing kind of a weird defensive, offensive. Crestview couldn't really decide what they wanted to do, and Mansfield Christian was just able to expose that. And it's clear that they just have talent where they need it. good chemistry. They have the pieces in place where they need to, so I think they're just going to continue to dominate.
Throw one more scoop on top, Travis, because I know you're on this Flames bandwagon, man.
Yeah, just the way they were able to handle Crestview on Saturday. You and I were there for the call, but 3 early goals, and then they really turned the defense up and shut down that fast break that Crestview had. Crestview in their district last year, or 2 years ago, Mansfield Christian came off, got the big upset to go to a district championship game. I think these teams have the ability to meet 2 more times in the MBC championship game and in a district, possibly semifinal, if things work out, because those 2 teams are just that good. But an undefeated squad, I still didn't understand why they aren't state ranked yet. Hopefully when the rankings come out this week, they are, because they're 7-0-1. They got a tough game on the 25th against Huron. They get a win there. I think they're on their way for an undefeated season, and they're one of the best girls squads up there this year. And then on the boys' side, another game that you and I saw, Ashland, Ontario. Ashland really got out there without 2 of their best players as well, because they were out with COVID, if you remember that. Those guys are pretty darn good. They did lose to Perrysburg 2-1 at home on Saturday, but it's a tough schedule. It's getting them ready for the tournament, and I think if they can just get things together, get everybody back healthy, they're going to have a really good shot at making a run in the tournament.
I am with you and Storm. I think Ashland's the best boys team that I've seen in the area, because they have athletes at every single level, including in between the pipes playing keeper for them. So I was a big, big fan. Really like what we saw from the Arrows in that win over Ontario, that I know is Hayden's #1 team in the area, but I just don't see why. Tell me maybe why I'm wrong.
Yeah, I forgot to touch on my top boys team. I'm going to stick with Ontario. I still have hope in them. They don't give up a lot of goals. The most goals they've given up in a competition so far is 2. They score a lot. They have games with 8 goals, 11 goals, 12 goals, and they tied a really good Lexington team, as we talked about previously. Their 4 losses come to number 9 in D2, number 29 in D2, Ashland, we just touched on. I do want to give credit to Ashland. They play a really, really tough schedule with loaded D1 schools. And then another Ontario loss was to Howland, number 2 in D2. So a couple of the games that I got to see them play against Clear Fork and that game against Ashland, they've had a couple key guys out, had one of them back versus Ashland. But I still think with their schedule, they're 6-4-1, 3-0 in the Mid-Ohio. So I think that they're going to be strong, and I think they're just going to continue to score a lot.
I haven't seen the Warriors at full strength yet with my own eyes, so I gave them an opportunity. I had Ashland #1 in my book, but I wanted to see if Ontario could beat Howland on Saturday at home, and if they would have, I was going to have them slated at #2. Really, really tough team, that Tigers team that ended up beating them, so that's why I have Ontario slated just a little bit below them. But I want to see him with Gage Weaver up top, where they can throw that deep ball and just let him go out-athlete everybody. Didn't get a chance to see that against Ashland, who did knock off Ontario. That's why right now I got the Arrows at #2. All right, so we can see so far that Ontario is the best girls team that we got, and we can see that Lexington is the best boys team. We're also right now, we're just going to say, you know what, Christmas is the best holiday, right? You know, it's that giving time of year. It's the spirit. It's great. Everyone loves Christmas time, no matter where you live. But what is the best holiday outside of that? The best of the rest. We'll let the conversation start over here. Who you guys slated at the #2 holiday in all of the holidays in all of the world, gentlemen?
I personally think Halloween. I absolutely love Halloween. I love the whole getting into costume. I think it's hilarious. I think it's always awesome to see how creative people can get with their costumes. And I don't know if you can tell by my perfect physique, but I love candy. I love chocolate. I love Twix. I love Kit Kat. All of those things. So when people are giving it away for free, not a lot of things in this world are free. So when people are giving away candy for free, and I get to dress up as a pirate. Like, I don't know, man.
Let's go. Are you a left Twix or a right Twix kind of guy? Where do you land on that debate?
I like all Twix. I don't know. Is there really a difference? I don't even know. But
That's
I will
their
tell
campaign.
you.
They make it seem like there's a different storm, but I eat them and I don't notice. Maybe.
My controversial opinion coming in. My personal favorite candy are Mounds and Almond Joys. So.
Yeah, that's not controversial. That's just dumb.
Yeah.
We'll just
Amen.
They're my favorite. Coconut and almond, it's perfect. And, you know, Thanksgiving actually was a very close second. I love Thanksgiving. My dad makes awesome deep-fried turkey every year. But free candy, and I get to listen to the Monster Mash. Can't beat it.
So is it going to be candy and Monster Mash, or is it going to be deep-fried turkey for you, G?
I think we all know where I'm going with this answer. I think it's an obvious second to Christmas. It's pretty close to even being a number one for me. It is 110% Thanksgiving. You get one day out of the year to not be judged at how much food you put on your plate and how many rounds you go up there. So it's definitely Thanksgiving. I get to eat, I get to be fat, and I get to enjoy it without getting judged. 100% Thanksgiving, and it's pretty close between Christmas and Thanksgiving for me.
And you get to watch the Lions
Yeah,
play.
and you get to watch Storm's crappy Lions get destroyed by
beat
almost
every
team.
year, but
It's definitely
I get
Thanksgiving.
to watch them.
True.
All right, Travis, it's your turn on this one. Where are you going?
You know what? Christmas by far is my favorite, but like we said, that's out. How about the 4th of July? You got fireworks.
Boo.
You got
Not
you got
Boo
hot
America.
dogs, burgers, and you know what? That's another thing where you two guys, the hot dog eating contest. Nobody's going to judge you about how many glizzies you guys eat. But 4th of July, you got the fireworks. It's sunny, nice weather. You get the pool. You get cornhole. You get the street games that you guys play, Brian, at your house.
How can you
things
boo
like
America, gentlemen?
No, I'm not saying
not
Boo America.
Vincent Cooper
Oh,
as
just
well
booing
commented.
Travis in
More so
general.
Boo Travis.
Vincent Cooper commenting also 4th of July because freedom. Amen, man.
all right.
It's
USA.
the birthday of the U.S. of A.
It's fair.
And fireworks.
And I said that.
Oh, my bad. I retract my boo.
Typically fair food, too.
Oh, my gosh.
So-
Yeah,
fair
there's
fight.
some
a
fairs
lot.
going on as well.
A lot
Come
going on the
Some
4th of
fair
July. America's birthday.
The only day when you're allowed to shoot illegal pyrotechnics off at other people. How
I
isn't
wouldn't
that
go
fun?
that far, but, having fireworks is nice.
Yeah, you can get away with it a lot easier on 4th
Yeah.
of July. Yeah. You can also lose a lot of fingers. We've seen that, too.
Yeah.
Hayden, where do you land?
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with Garrett and go Thanksgiving. For all the points he made, the food, it kind of sounds weird, but some holidays I'm ranking based off the food that's being eaten, and I
Yep.
think that Thanksgiving food's elite. It's unmatched. Christmas is fantastic, but I'm a big fall guy, and while I'm eating this delicious food, I'd rather be watching the NFL
Than
a
the
little bit
NBA.
more than the NBA.
Yep.
Right. So,
It's a key point.
hands
can't
down
agree with
Thanksgiving,
that, but
100%.
All right, I guess I'm going to be the tiebreaker or put one of these over the top. I love Halloween, Storm, because you can be anything that you want to be, and you can, change your whole mentality. You can be a different person for a whole night if you want. You can be a creature. I really dig that, and kind of a lot of the same rules apply for 4th of July. I think we'll look the other way on a lot of behavior in the name of America. You know what I mean? So
America.
those two are really, really good, but it's got to be Thanksgiving. Are you kidding me, man? For all the reasons like these guys said, you get to load up your plate. Ain't nobody going to judge you. We have entertainment from start to finish. You get to watch the Macy's Day Parade.
That's
you get the
true.
family. You
That's
get the
true.
gathering. And, oh, by the way, football all day long, and nobody judges you for having a couple of pops and kicking back and, taking a nap at the second quarter and then waking up for second half action and more games coming on in the evening. Almost nobody has to work on Thanksgiving. The college kids are back home. The parties are off the chain. It's just a great environment all the way around, and easily the second choice. Actually, this one wasn't that hard for me. Christmas and Thanksgiving, they're real close. I think me and
I
G,
think Halloween
we
was a
went in
decent
close.
third, though. I do like the Halloween pick, but I think Thanksgiving and Christmas, man, they're neck and neck.
They up there.
And you know what? At the end of Thanksgiving, it kicks off the Christmas season. So I could see your point right there as well, because it's like it is the official kickoff to the Christmas season, is just stuffing your face watching football and watching a bunch of parade floats go down.
Well, then Halloween is the kickoff of Thanksgiving season.
Yeah, I would kind of agree. I feel like
Oh.
Halloween kicks off the holiday season where it's like, hey,
I can
over
see
the
that,
next
okay.
several months, it's back to back to back to back, and then back to back.
also, excluding Christmas, of course, Halloween has the best music.
Michael Jackson Thriller.
Goose, or,
I don't know why
yeah, I
you
would've
mentioned that.
Monster
Michael
Mash?
Jackson Thriller. Come on, other than Monster Mash, it's
because I don't
that kicks.
know. I don't know if there's a Thanksgiving song.
No, I don't think there is.
So Halloween's
But
second in music.
Thanksgiving does mean deviled eggs, at least in my house, and I love eggs. But what is the proper amount of eggs? How many is too many if you're going to sit down for a meal? Hayden, we're going to begin with you on this one. What do you think? 2, 3 eggs? Is that too much? Where do you land on this topic?
If we're talking deviled eggs, I don't know. I don't particularly enjoy deviled eggs. I was kind of going from like the breakfast perspective. So I think if you're making an omelet at home, it's got to be 3 at least. I've had a 2-egg omelet. It's not very satisfying. It's too small, and then you get mad that you just wasted all that time. So it's got to be 3 for an omelet. And then if it's like a side at breakfast, 2. 1 is not satisfying enough. 3, probably going to regret it. So I'm going to go with 3 and 2.
Okay, so
That's
kind
my
of a couple of answers
Yeah,
there. Travis, agreed?
You can call him the egg expert, apparently. I'd say 2 scrambled eggs,
Okay.
some toast, and some bacon. Perfect breakfast right there. So I'm going to go with 2 eggs.
2 eggs, all right. G-Man?
No eggs, because I absolutely despise eggs. I hate sunny side up eggs, and scrambled eggs are okay. I can't dig them. Omelet though is good. I can get an omelet because of all the fixings inside of it, but I can't do just a regular egg. It's just too, like, the texture is too slimy, and it's just not me, man.
Whoa.
So I would rather go like French toast, sausage, and bacon. Skip the egg.
I mean, it's
I had
not
the
even
egg and
morning.
all that.
I got breakfast on my mind, but I need some eggs in my breakfast.
I can't
you
do
know what
it.
I mean?
I
To
can't
not have any eggs, Storm, tell him, what's he missing?
Well, I personally like 4 eggs, and apparently I didn't know how many eggs was a lot. But like I was talking about earlier, my perfect physique.
It's a third of a dozen, Storm.
But when I eat eggs, that's like my final thing. So like I like there to be enough so where I won't be hungry. So even if I have some left over, that's fine.
What's the rest of the plate looking like?
The rest of the plate? If we're talking about my perfect breakfast, waffles over pancakes, bacon, sausage links, eggs, hash brown, and toast with jelly.
That's
Good
quite a
Lord.
That's my perfect breakfast.
Quite a list. And as a person, I also like stacking my food, so I have this broken up into 2 categories, just like my man Hayden over here, okay? And speaking from experience, just from today, I can let you know, if you're going to make an egg sandwich, 3 eggs is too many. It's not fitting on that bread. I'm just going to let you know, once you get the meat on there and the cheese, it starts falling off, and it's just too much. 2 eggs is the proper amount if you're going to make a sandwich, but per Hayden's advice, I agree. 2 eggs ain't gonna cut it if that's all I get. If I don't have the bread and the cheese and the other meat, I need 3 eggs to satisfy my hunger, and sometimes that's not enough. I might be with Storm. Hell, I'll take 4, sometimes 5. I've had a 5-egg omelet, no problem. I'll put it down, just not on a sandwich.
Well, I feel like eggs don't even fill you up. It's one of those foods I could eat 100 eggs probably if I really wanted, just because I never get full off eggs.
I feel like with the deviled
That's
egg
another
especially,
challenge.
I can do a dozen of those.
100 egg challenge.
He's got to get his hair shaved and eat 100 eggs, Shelby fans.
All right, finally, guys, one last great debate for you. In the modern age of society, it's pretty good watching a sporting event at home. It's really changed the game. There's lots of sports that you can watch. There's different ways to get involved. Fantasy football, just texting along with your friends, trivia challenges, all sorts of stuff happening. But is it better to be at home, or is it better to be at the stadium where you can get, the stadium food, you have the environment, you get to see the athletes in person? So let's see where everybody weighs in on this one. We'll begin over here with the double trouble. G-Man, you can go first. You like going to the stadium, you like staying on the couch.
Well, yesterday I was at home on the couch watching the game as the Vikings missed a game-winning field goal, of course. But the week before I was in Cincinnati, as of course they made a game-winning field goal in overtime. So if I had to pick, I definitely think I would go stadium. That was really my first experience going to get to see the Vikings live, and it was really good seats. I think the seats definitely matter because I've been to a Browns game in the nosebleeds, and it's not as fun. I mean, they look like ants down there. You can't really see. But I was in the front row, man. It was exciting. Back and forth game, too, of course, which helped. So I'm going to go with stadium. The only thing I don't like about the stadium and the home life is the home you can eat what you want and not really get judged. We're at the judging stage again. So, you know what I
feel
mean?
like people are looking at you with your three-plated nachos?
The price,
the prices
bro.
are outrageous there. That's the only drawback, but definitely going with stadium. Just the environment and the vibes are really cool.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with stadium too, honestly. But, there are some drawbacks like the price. You pay $15 for 5 chicken strips. I mean, pretty pricey food and whatnot, but
Especially when you need 3 of those
Three
plates.
baskets.
when I need 3 baskets and then 3 large fries and
Plus, you're kind of cramped to eat. I feel like it's
Yeah.
not, I'll just starve.
See, my team is the Pistons, so it's always nice. You can get really good seats, and no one will be there on a Tuesday night game. So I get all the room I want to put whatever I want wherever. It's just like watching at home, but being at a packed house, then I don't know. That's where it. I think I'm going to change my decision. I'm going to go at home. I think I'm going to go at home now.
Talked himself right into
Now
it.
that we talked about all the disadvantages, going to the stadium is really fun, but when you're able to just kind of do whatever you want at home.
Storm, you probably haven't seen a good game.
That's true. All my teams are not
Yeah,
that
that's
great.
what you look like typically when you're a Detroit Lions fan or a Pistons fan. So we feel for you. We sympathize for you. We have empathy as Browns, Indians, Cavs fans over here. Hayden, I know that you're not some of those things. You watch the Steelers. So tell me, do you like going to the stadium? You like watching at home? What do you prefer?
Yeah, I don't know if my answer is a cop-out, but I think everyone should experience it. I agree, a game at the stadium. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of it's unbeatable. Garrett made a good point about your seat, too, sometimes, depending on where you're at. So I think everyone should go experience, no matter the sport, at least one in the stadium. After that, I'm preferring home just because, yesterday got to enjoy the Steelers' loss from the comfort of my own home. So it's probably a good thing that I definitely was not in the stadium for a loss.
No one saw your tears, Hayden?
Yeah, no, I can, I can cry as much as I want at home. But yeah, food, being able to use my own bathroom, comfort, I'm going to take that. And it seems like it's becoming harder and harder experience to go to a game in person. I've heard a lot of complaints about Ohio State games lately. There was 77,000 people there against Tulsa. I know it's Tulsa at 3:30 on a Saturday, but it seems like it's becoming more of a difficult experience to go to the stadium. So
no one said it was going to be easy, Hayden, but is it better to be at home, Travis?
Well, first off, why did you enjoy watching the Steelers lose? Because that's what you just said, Hayden. I enjoyed watching the Steelers lose.
I did not enjoy that.
It was miserable watching that game because the Raiders.
For all of us.
Yeah, I was having a good time thinking about Travis.
How about that Kansas City game in your punter ski? Anyway,
Lions didn't lose.
I like maybe going to the stadium once for a game, but are you really going to want to pay $7.28 for a beer, $5.50 for a hot dog when you can buy a six-pack of the same beer for $5?
Those are cheap prices. What stadium are you going to?
The average price of beer in an NFL stadium, I Googled it right now, but you can buy a six-pack of beer for the price of one beer at a stadium. Hot dogs, same thing. You get a six-pack of hot dogs for the price of one. The traffic, the lines, you're going to miss half the game if you're going to go in line for food or a beverage, especially even an Indians game. You go for Dollar Dog Night, you're going to miss 3 innings because you're in line trying to get one hot dog or two. So that's frustrating. I mean, it's fun being there, the atmosphere and everything, but enjoy it at home.
Ooh, yeah.
On your couch, as much food and drink as you want. That's my
unless
you are a media member, though. Unless you're a media member like you and I, Brian, get sideline stands, free food up in the press box. That's the one exception.
Gentlemen, if you're going to go to a football game or a basketball game, I don't care what sport it is, you better get good tickets, and you'll see that your experience is going to be a million times different. Because when you're yelling from your living room, they can't hear you, but when I'm yelling from the second row, that's right. I've had some verbal back and forth with some athletes. I got in Chad Ochocinco's head before that 2007 game. That's right. The Browns probably won that game because of me. How many touchdowns do you have? Ochocinco just won, and he came to the dog pound, but you got a beer splashed on you, buddy. So when you're a part of that, and you're in the mix, and you can feel that, and you see the athletes with your own eyes, it's game-changing. Basketball, I think especially, when you get to watch it from down close, how big them guys are, some of the stuff that they do with the basketball, you can't notice that when you're watching on the comfort of your own home. Yeah, it's better, it's cheaper in some ways in terms of the comfortability, but I kind of like people all sweating for a common goal, coming together. Just don't come to a Browns-Texans game and wear a Bears jersey. Pick a side if you're going to go to a pro event. That's the one thing that I don't like. If you were going to go, get invested, pick a team, make it count, get loud. That's what we do at Browns games, and that's why we won at home yesterday. It was a good time. So Victory Monday for us. I wish I could have went to the game. I just didn't have tickets. And last year, I'll just say this, and I know that I talked to you guys all about this, during the COVID stuff where they only allowed a few people in the section, you kind of got the best of every world. No lines at the concession stands or the bathroom. You had your space. You could run around. But it's not the same anymore.
Hey, Brian, I got a voting update for Phenoms and Top Plays.
Update.
Blaine Bowman and Hayden Kuhn, now both with one vote. And also our biggest fan, Linda Mendoza.
Okay.
Commenting, no storm, not a 2, please. 4, be great. You're an amazing, handsome man. So maybe not chop it completely off, but Linda Mendoza really not a fan of the 2.
He's already invested.
Yeah,
he's already said
too late, Linda.
Sorry, Linda. It's
so you might want to take some time to apologize to Linda right now for what's going to happen.
That I'm going to have to. Well, no, I'm not. I don't think that I'm going to
You're in
have
first
to
place right now. Blaine's got
You're
a vote.
up by 1 vote.
So
I don't know. They didn't come out and show some support every other time, so I don't know. Why would this time be different? So I'm not holding my breath about it. I like the mullet, and I think it's going to stay.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look ahead at Friday night and what's coming up here on the OH.Report. Since we're already talking about the Shelby kids, tell us, Storm, where's Shelby going to be, who they playing?
Marion Harding. I'll be at Marion Harding. I already went on my big Popeye spiel, so I'm going to have to find something else to eat down there. But I'm pretty excited. I like going to Harding. I like their stadium. And I like Shelby's chances versus Harding. I think Shelby's going to go out, have another big win. And I think you're going to see another dude named Marshall Shepard on our Phenom voting next week.
6 weeks in a row. Clear Fork at Galleon is where G-Man's going to be. Break it down for us.
This could be the fight for second place here. Second place are winners too, Brian. Clear Fork at Galleon. You never know. Maybe one of these teams could upset Shelby. Going to be a tough task, but going to be over at High C Park. It's going to be curious to see if Gallion can keep Donaldson going. I mean, we say he got shut down. He still had, a 71-yard touchdown run. So I wouldn't say he shut him down, but they definitely limited him on offense. See if Clear Fork can do the same and upset the Tigers.
We're going to have Brian Harder, Bruce Wyrick over at Lucas. They're taking on Canton Central Catholic, looking for a 6-0 start. Brandon Wells will be the pipes you'll be listening to. Madison at Ashland as we team up with WNCO. And then me, Travis Hayden, all going to be at Fredericktown at Northmore. K-Mac Trav back in his environment at the Castle. I know you're excited.
Oh, I am. Can the Golden Knights get the win over Fredericktown a week before that big K-Mac clash with the East Knox Bulldogs? And I see G-Man and Storm over there, giving the thumbs down for the K-Mac. And I have a question for you guys.
Uh-oh.
A couple years ago when, the Crestview game, the tough loss for the Cougars, East Knox moved on. Didn't you guys just jump on their bandwagon, follow them throughout the playoffs? And then last year, so excited every time you wanted to go down to East Knox, cover their things. And then you come to this year, nowhere to be found. Jumping off the bandwagon,
I'm just
boys?
doing my job.
I'm just doing my job.
Travis.
I'm just doing my job.
Could have requested anything, but hey, they're back to where they want to be. I know you're back with Crestview. You should be. You guys are graduates. You played for Crestview. Like I said, they're having a great year. You should be up there, but not even once have you been down to Howard, have you?
Oh,
For a
and
game?
by the
My
way,
job.
though,
I did see East Knox play Crestview, though.
I did see
Yes,
that
you did.
too.
Yes, you did. But where were you at? You were with Crestview, as you should have been. Like I said, you guys graduated there. You've been with them for as many years as possible, right? So there we go.
two games that are not mentioned on this list that we're still working on. I'm trying to get Mansfield at Lexington and then Worcester at West Holmes so that we can have all the best highlights that you guys want to see. That's coming up on Friday night. And then we do also have a Saturday game over at Ashland Community Stadium. The Crestview Cougars going to be playing at home. Who do they got, G?
I believe it is Ottawa Hills, Brian.
That is
a good
correct.
call. Excited for that one.
Do we know anything about Ottawa Hills?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Lose to
We'll get there.
We will this
We'll
week.
get
We
there
will this
Saturday.
week. It's
Play
early
football.
still, right? It's early in the week. But
Let's worry about right now. Let's worry about tonight, and let's show you where we're going to be tonight. How about over at Mansfield Christian? We're going to have a live and free broadcast coming up. Boys soccer, they are taking on Highland Fighting Scots. It's been a tough year for them. They have not won a match yet. The Flames, on the other hand, winners of 3 straight. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they can make it 4 in a row. Expecting lots of goals tonight. We'll have kickoff of that one coming for you at 7. Pre-game action begins right around 6:45. And then also, Travis, you are going to be bringing us a highlight of the undefeated state-ranked Ontario Lady Warriors. Who they got?
Yeah, I'm excited to see this matchup. It's an MOAC matchup against the Gallion Lady Tigers. Ontario, they continue to roll on. They are the favorite, I think, in this area this year. We said, Madison, they're coming up. A couple guys said Madison. But I think just this is Ontario's year. They're 6-0-3. They're unbeaten. They just tied New Albany a few days ago. They shut out Clear Fork, one of their biggest opponents. Clear Fork beat them in the summer. But Ontario, when it mattered most, came back, takes over. It looks like they're going to win another MOAC championship. And looking forward to get this highlight. They play Gallion. Hopefully they don't overlook them because they do get Madison in the game next. But I'll be up there tonight. We'll have highlights later this evening.
So that's your coverage that you can catch right here on the OH.Report this evening. But for right now, we got to say goodbye to you folks. It's been fun. Thanks for tuning in to this impromptu live edition of the OH.Report video podcast. We'll probably be back live again next Monday. So, look forward to it. We'll be back. Bye for now.